Welcome to our very first episode of Under Construction with Chapman Building. We're going to be introducing you to Jason, and he's going to be explaining more about this business and what services they have on offer. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks, Mandy. Looking forward to it.
Tell us, you're a household name in Ballito, but there are so many services that I think the community need to know more about. So maybe just give us a little bit of history about you guys and the services that you have on offer.
Cool. So the business started in 1995. We had been living in Ballito since 1989 already when my father moved here as an engineer on the N2 project. As a young boy, we got to experience Ballito as the small, quaint town that it was. We all went through the local school system here. From my younger brother was at a pre-primary school, whereas my older brother and I were at Amshlali, and we worked our way through. Like I said, Dad started the business in '95 after finishing up with the N2 road project. He started off very, very small, just fitting curtain rails and bathroom accessories and then shower doors, and then got his first bathroom renovation within about 6 months or so. And then slowly just sort of organically grew the business from very humble beginnings and took the risk. I mean, that first year after trading, that was my brother's first year at high school. We went to Glenwood, and so he sort of had to make it work, and I think that sort of drive and that ambition and that willingness to just contribute and give all for the needs of the family just was instilled in all of us. So we then going through school worked for Dad and with Dad on various occasions as labor only, just pocket labor only, unskilled, and pushing wheelbarrows and getting down in the trenches with the rest of the guys. We didn't have skills. He wasn't going to give us preferential treatment because we were the son of the owner and what have you, and we didn't really expect that either. We were having, as three burly brothers with not even 4 years between us, we were all very happy to jump in and get stuck in the mud and all the rest of it. So I think it was good. It was a good part of the whole company. So you're looking at where we are now and thinking all the way back then of how Dad sort of got us in the mix. And even before we moved to Ballito and he was busy with the civils jobs, I mean, there were massive machines and I mean, my older brother and I once set a field on fire. Flicking matches into the dry grass, and they had to shut the whole site down and get all the water trucks, and I spent 2 days putting this fire out. So we learn. But you'll meet Dad through the course of the series.
I'm looking forward to meeting the man behind all of this.
He's incredibly humble, very shy, look, I certainly feel very fortunate to have been able to work with him, and for the early part, certainly before I got involved seriously with the business, Dad and I were not on very good terms, as most 21-year-olds would be with their father who, wants to instill good values, and I just want to jawl and party and go trekking all over the world. So, but there was certainly a period of growth that happened before I got involved in the business, and it was important that happened because the 5 years after I got involved in the business, I ended up purchasing 50% from my dad, which was a good little feather in his hat to say, that he had done his hard yards and could now put something aside for the hard work that he'd done for the business. I was incredibly fortunate to be able to take and get into a business that was already established, and not have to go through the toils that a normal person would, at that age. So there was still a lot of work to do, and it was a tricky time, but we got stuck in and the ups and the downs, but we still bobbing along.
That's wonderful, and I'm just absolutely blown away that you chose to buy into your dad's business. That just shows the values of the family values, and also just, I think, your values as a businessman in this town of Ballito, that you've invested in your own family and in the community, something that was built from your dad. What sort of services? Yes, we say building, but there's a lot more to building, which we're going to learn through this 13 episode show.
Yeah, so sure. Hey, if you look at the building from the outside and from the inside, and you start on the floor and you work your way up, or you start at the roof and you work your way down, every aspect of the building we've got a hand in. There's certain elements which we are specialists at, which we can do ourselves. And then there's obviously other elements that are more specialized that require other subcontractors or suppliers. So plumbing and electrical and those sort of aspects, we would get our preferred suppliers. And then in terms of our services, we've broken our company up into 4 divisions. We've got building, which obviously covers all building, wetworks, any sort of wetworks, I mean, is concrete and plaster and cement and bricks and any sort of good old traditional rugged building that you would think of. So that would cover that. Waterproofing is another big part of our business, just because of the area that we live in and how corrosive the environment is, and how we have a high humidity and massive fluctuations in temperature. One of the most corrosive places on the planet, in the top 5, according to one study that we'll touch on later on in the series. But yeah, a lot of waterproofing, and there's certain applications that just don't work in this area. You know, people come from up country, and not to point fingers at the Valleys or anything, but people come from up country and bring their products down, and they don't work with the environment. They don't work with the salt, they don't work with the sun, and we often encounter a lot of failures which end up becoming bread and butter stuff for us. So all these fly-by-nights and what have you that people are getting stung by in Belito and what have you, it's a horrible thing. But you know, when people don't spend the money on doing proper repairs and following the processes that are required, they're going to spend the money repeatedly until it's done properly. So waterproofing is a big one, and I think that's definitely something that a lot of people can learn a lot about. So looking forward to giving some info on that. Carpentry is another aspect, a lot of roofing, again touching on the waterproofing side slightly, but lots of carpentry and joinery. So roofing, doors, architraves, skirting, decking, all of that. We've got a very highly skilled team that we use. And then obviously finishing. So we've changed our focus since the sort of lockdowns and all of that. We forced a lot of us to make big changes in our business. So we've changed our focus to focus more on additions, alterations, renovations, smaller jobs in comparison to what we were doing before. But it's more in line with where we're comfortable, and with our network and our suppliers, we're very comfortable in that space, and we produce a sort of quality that the clients are happy with. So, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know.
Absolutely.
So we're just going to crack on with that. So the finishing is the last part, which covers tiling and anything painting, any detailing of a project.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure the viewers are going to be as excited as I am to be doing the season with you. I think there's a lot of learning to be had, and for those who are too shy to ask the questions, I'll probably be asking the question for you. So looking forward to 13 episodes, Jason, and stay tuned to find out more and when these episodes are going to be airing on YouTube.